Acceptance is the final stage in grief, and maybe you find yourself saying things like, I cannot accept that this is my life now. I cannot accept that they did this to me. I can't get to that place of acceptance. I don't think I ever will. Maybe I should just leave. I want to help you understand what acceptance really is and how to get there. So we're going to do an exercise together, okay? Now, if you're driving, don't do this. But if you are at a place where you can close your eyes, I want to bring some imagery into your mind. Just close your eyes for just a moment and just listen to my voice. I want you to imagine that you own a sailboat and you love this sailboat. Oh my goodness, you were so excited to have this sailboat. And when it was sold to you, it was sold to you that it was wonderful. You will always have fun out on the ocean. It's going to be great. You look at the weather and the Weather Channel tells you, oh, hey, we're going to have great weather today. Today is a perfect day for sailing. So you decide to take your sailboat out and you're out in the middle of the ocean on the sailboat. Well, suddenly out of absolutely nowhere, this huge storm arrives. And the wind is whipping around you and the waves are getting you and you can barely stay upright in this sailboat. You're just in shock. I mean, the Weather Channel said it was going to be great weather. The person who sold me this sailboat said it was going to be perfect. I mean, I'm really good at making sure this sailboat goes in the right direction, but I can't even get it to go where I want it to go. I'm very frustrated. I'm angry. I'm scared. What is going on? Well, over time, the weather dies down a little bit. It's still windy. The waters are still rough. And you have become extraordinarily frustrated. You keep trying to steer your sails to catch the wind to go back in the direction you came. You want to go back. You just want to go back to where you were. But the wind is not cooperating. The wind is going in the other direction. But you don't like that because you don't like where you are. You didn't want to be here. You didn't ask for this. This sailboat was supposed to be completely different. The weather was supposed to be completely different. This is not what you signed up for. You cannot believe that all of this has let you down so horribly. You just want to go back, but you can't. You find yourself stuck because you refuse to turn your sail in the direction the wind is blowing. Because you don't want to go in that direction. You didn't sign up for that direction. And that direction, quite frankly, is super scary because it's dark and you don't know what's on the other side of the dark. But you know where you came from. So you want to go back. Over time, you realize that you're stuck. You've literally been in the same spot for a really long time. And you're not going anywhere. You're just sitting there. When we refuse to make the choice to accept our reality, we are stuck in place. Grief builds and flows, and we feel what we need to feel and we experience what we need to experience so that we can make a conscious decision to accept that this is our reality. There's nothing we can do about it. We can't change it. It did happen. And yes, the person we gave our heart to, they are very capable of hurting us. Just like we are very capable of hurting other people too. They made a horrible choice. So yeah, what we thought we signed up for, what we thought we had, turns out to not be reality. So we have a choice to make. If we continue to refuse to accept that this sailboat is not what we signed up for, that this weather was not what Weather Channel said it would be, then we're just going to sit there fighting the current. We're going to be sitting there fighting the wind, and we will go nowhere. But once we make a decision to shift the sails, just shift them to catch the wind in such a way that we can begin moving in a different direction. not new. And I want to say something about new. When I was going through a fair recovery, if one more person looked at me and said that I just needed to accept the new normal, I was going to just scream. Everything in me wanted to go, what is normal? Was my marriage normal? I don't even know anymore. What does new normal even mean? I don't even like that terminology. Instead, I like different. You know, going in a different direction is not always bad. Matter of fact, sometimes it's really, really, really good to go in a different direction. And when we're out in the middle of the ocean and the wind is blowing and we've gone through something like infidelity, the wind is blowing us in a different direction because we cannot go back, because what was doesn't exist anymore. This is what we struggle to accept. Acceptance means that we recognize that we're accepting that as the truth. We cannot change the past. We cannot go back to what was. So acceptance is deciding that if you can't go back to what was, you're ready to move on to what can be. That is acceptance. When you shift that sail and you start going in that direction, whatever transpires in that direction, you've chosen to let it unfold. And I know it's scary. There are no guarantees. Matter of fact, some people are going to shift their sails and they're going to end up leaving and divorcing their unfaithful partner. Some people are going to shift their sails and they're going to end up reconciling and having a beautiful marriage on the other side. Wherever you end up, that's where you needed to go. But until you accept that you can't go back the way you came, you're going to sit there and struggle with the sails. And that's what I hear so often. I don't think I can accept this. I can't accept that they did this. I can't accept that this is my life now. I will never accept that he's done this. Here's what happens when you get stuck and you refuse to shift your sails. You become extraordinarily resentful of the sailboat. You start to see the sailboat as something that really misrepresented itself to you. It was not as great as you thought it was, and how dare it be something that you didn't want it to be. You very much resent the Weather Channel because it lied to you. It told you that the weather was going to be great and it wasn't. Then you start doubting yourself, I'm sure. You know, you start to really hate on yourself. Well, I should have double checked. Well, you know, I should have known that if I went out this far in the middle of the ocean, that at some point I was going to get stuck. I should have known this and I should have done that. We start really beating ourselves up. So a lot of things transpire when you choose to just hold on and keep that sail from gathering the wind in the direction it's trying to lead you. Acceptance means that you understand clearly you can't go back. A beautiful thing transpires, however, when you do shift your sails. When you gather that wind and you start traveling, what happens when you've made that moment of acceptance? I accept that there's nothing I can do here. I accept that I can't go back. I accept that the only way forward is forward. You know, you gain clarity. All those questions you have swimming around your head. Am I making the right decision? Should I have stayed? Should I stay? Should I leave? Should I go back to therapy? Are they doing enough? Do I think I even love them anymore? All those things that are swimming around in your mind, they start to gain traction and clarity when you start moving again. The reason you can't have clarity is that you're not going anywhere. How can you have clarity about anything when you're stuck in one place? It's a choice. You choose to move forward. You choose to adjust your sails. And yes, it takes an enormous amount of courage to do that, because you don't know what's on the other side. You don't know where the wind is taking you. But what you do know is you're moving. You are moving, because it's better than being stuck in one place. And I want to promise you this one last thing. I know that some people who get stuck in this acceptance quandary and they say, well, I just can't accept it, so I should just leave. That's not how grief works. Yes, you can leave your relationship. You can just make a decision that you'll never accept it and you're just going to leave your relationship, but you're still going to be stuck in your sailboat, because until you accept that you cannot go back, you are just going to carry that into another relationship. Acceptance is a peace that you create for yourself. Acceptance is a moment when you realize there is no going backwards. The wind is trying to take you to a place of healing. That is grief's job. But you have to choose to go there. Grief isn't going to magically take you there. It's a process. The decision to accept is yours to make. Where are you on your sailboat? Are you moving along nicely? Or are you stuck somewhere in the middle of the Atlantic or the Pacific or the Mediterranean or wherever you want to be? I hope you'll start moving soon. That's the only way to get to that different that is going to make all the difference in you.